Okay, I'm doing a video response to Melina Pendulum. She did a really, oh sorry, and Zipblockgory. And they did a video on Wonder Woman, the unappreciated icon. Now it was really, really interesting. I want to start this video off just kind of ironically, because I've always thought, as a black guy who's into comics, that Wonder Woman really, really appeals to certain fringe or marginalized elements of society. I think you know, whether you look at the homosexual community, where Wonder Woman had become, you know, Linda Carter especially had become a very massive icon for them, and also, you know, the feminist movement, with women, and Gloria Steinem in the 70s complaining about the Wonder Woman run, where Wonder Woman was in fact depowered. And I think, again, you know, she's someone very, very appealing to the black community, as well as, you know, other kind of fringe or you know, marginalized kind of communities, whether it be just, you know, the person who feels they are an outcast in school, or any of these kind of things. And I kind of like, I wanted to explore, first of all, why that is, and also explore just some of the things that came up in the video. So, first of all, one of the things that that is interesting is the two, Melina and Zipblock, as I'll call them for short. Both of them had varying opinions on Wonder Woman as a feminist heroine. Now, what do I think of that? I think that Melina is right in saying that Wonder Woman has often been represented as this feminist icon, but by a DC writing staff who clearly have some unresolved feelings to the ideological tenets of feminist theory or feminism, which is really, really unfortunate. And then there's Ziploc, who thinks that she shouldn't be written as a feminist character at all, simply, well, because it's kind of off-putting if that is made the focus of her story. Now, for me, I have a completely diametrically opposed view to both. I think that, you know, Ziploc is right. He said something so interesting, and he said that Wonder Woman should be written as a character who loves everyone, not a feminist character. Now, that is a fascinating statement if I've ever heard one. That means the representation of feminism to the general public has simply been that of some kind of femi-Nazi movement where women view themselves as better than men. But the narrative of feminist thought has often been very much coupled with the civil rights movement. It's been coupled with the gay rights movement. It's been coupled with even socialism or progressive liberalism. And it's never, well, apart from the radical feminists, which were a group that wasn't very popular amongst the feminist movement, feminism has always been a fight for social justice, using issues concerning female marginalization or you know, or the kind of depiction of the narrative of females as a way to explore further kind of oppressions and injustices in the world. So there should be no conflict at all with Wonder Woman being a feminist heroine and Wonder Woman loving everyone, and also Wonder Woman standing against some of the more oppressive forces in the world that seek to, seek this kind of control and to interpret the narratives of groups like black people or African Americans, or women or gay people, who seek to interpret their narratives for them, to tell them who they are, to tell them the position or role they should have. Wonder Woman's ultimate story and the beauty of her story, and what makes her just as compelling as Superman and Batman, because I love Superman and Batman as well. I'm not a particularly political person, but if politics political ideas facilitate bettering a story, then I think that is a good thing. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing bad about that. And Wonder Woman, the politics underlying her story facilitate it being a greater story. And what is it a great story of? It is the great story of what has been perceived and narratively constructed as weak being shown as in fact strong, and being shown as in fact a caring or an alternative narrative to the dominant narratives that have that have ruled our kind of ideological beliefs, i.e. that man has driven world history, specifically white, middle class, heterosexual men have driven society to where it is. And the rest of the groups who surround that have been historically represented as not being able to look after themselves, not being as powerful, not being as smart, not being as capable. And Wonder Woman is the subversive act of undermining that. And I would be shocked, personally, if that story, if written in the right way and put in the right hands, is something that distresses people. I mean, it might do. That might be a distressing idea to young white males these days. But I'd be highly surprised if it is. I'll talk about the rest in part 2 of this.